So I got my first deer this past November, and it changed my mind about something. I'm also shooting this at night for good reason. I'll talk about that later. As a birthday gift for my son and I, we both have birthdays in October, my wife gave us a hunting trip to my best friend's family property up in Minnesota. And I'll admit, I was excited about it, like super stoked, but also just a little unsure, I guess, because I'm not a hunter. Like the most hunting I've ever done was when I was a kid. I hunted some squirrel and did dove hunting when I was in high school, but never deer hunted. You know, I live in the suburbs of Jacksonville, Florida, and my meat comes from the grocery store. And that I've got nothing against hunting. I think it's totally fine. It's a good way to harvest your own meat for your family and that kind of like. I have no problem with it. I just wasn't really on board with the idea of like hunting just to hunt, right? Just for the purpose of hunting. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into the story, and you'll see why this matters. Don't worry, I reserved the best vehicle for a hunting trip, okay? It is hunting trip appropriate. Yeah. So we flew to Minnesota, rented the most ridiculous vehicle for this trip because we're just highway driving to get to our destination. Always reliable. Always. I thought you were supposed to blend in. No, you want to stand out. That way you're safe. It's like a blaze orange version of a vehicle. Okay. Yeah. I took a hunter safety course. I know these things. Okay.
Are we going to be able to fit our luggage in this vehicle?
Whatever. We'll find out.
Which one is
Okay, we got room. Everybody in? Everybody good?
Good to go.
It's so cold here, though.
You keep saying that. So you don't want me to take the top off?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's removable.
Okay.
I mean, it's guy strip, whatever y'all say.
Guy strip. Day one, up before the sun, cup of coffee, pet my buddy's Bernedoodle. That's actually the reason why I really wanted a golden doodle to begin with when I first met his Bernedoodle. So I went into a stand with my friend, and then Isaiah, my son, he went into a stand with my friend's dad, and got set up, waited for sunrise basically, because sunrise is pretty much the start of hunting season. On November 8th in Minnesota for deer hunting season for rifle. It's actually like 15 minutes before sunrise, but you get the idea. So 15 minutes into the hunting season, my son texts my wife and I, and he says, "Holy crap." And I'm like, "What?" He got one. He got a buck 15 minutes into opening day.
Right here, the 6-point. And he was on his phone texting y'all about we didn't see any deer. And then I stand up and I'm like, hey.
It was right under you?
Right under us. And it walked all the way down there, came up in the woods, sniffed a little bit, came back around, went out, and we found it where it was scratching on the ground.
So that's the one you didn't
That's
shoot?
the one we didn't shoot.
Yeah. The one you sent the picture of?
Yeah, the one that we sent the picture of.
So y'all saw like 2 or 3 bucks? All I saw was 2 birds and a squirrel. We didn't see nothing. Inhumane, dissecting frogs.
I was telling them how the middle schools around here were having bringing their deer hunters to second.
Oh, gosh, I forgot, yeah.
Hey, careful, crew.
Thanks. Wait for these guys. You guys will take some pictures.
We didn't see anything. We didn't see anything the whole time. Not even a blade of grass moving. So he saw multiple deer. So they're on this big plot, like 80-acre plot, you know, lots of room for the deer, lots of room for the stands, so you're far apart, that kind of thing. You can barely hear a gunshot from the other side. Speaking of doodles, we now have 2 of them fighting in the background. Now, one thing you can't use for deer hunting is this. This is the Olight PLX weapon light, and it has found a permanent home on my home defense pistol. This is, of course, unloaded and clear, just to show you. We are fully safe, not to worry. This is Olight's newest weapon light, and it's my newest favorite light, for sure. There's a few things that really set it apart for me. First, it has light options. Guys, can we? Hey. There'll be no getting in the pool. It's nighttime. We're not getting in the pool. Stop biting her tail. Chill out. So there's a few things that set the PLX apart. First, it has light options. There's a 22,500 candela spotlight, but then you can flip this switch and you have a 1200 lumen floodlight. I keep it on floodlight since it is a home defense weapon. I want to light up the whole room. So it has fully adjustable and reversible lugs, so it'll fit on a variety of weapons. It has 1913 and GL rail mounts. It has a strobe function. It charges with USB-C. And this might be a dumb thing to be excited about, but it has this like ratcheting retention on the screw, on the mounting screw, so you know it's not going to back out and loosen, because I have had that happen at the range with other lights. Incredible Light and the links are in the description. You can get 10% off with a promo code PLXOLIGHT, and shout out to Olight for sending this out to me. I really appreciate it. It is my go-to. I'm going to need a couple more. And I think it's really cool that Olight worked with holster manufacturers, so there's 11 plus now. They started off with 11. Now there's even more manufacturers that are making holsters for this light, because that's always a difficult thing, is to find holsters to fit different form factor lights, you know, like this one that I got from Works for mine. Fantastic holster. Now I've built this up to be kind of my ideal home defense weapon. Obviously the light is from Olight. The sight, the optic, is also, it's an O sight, so same company. Great optic on here. The chassis itself, the magazines, everything else on this is from Century Firearms. It's a local shop here. If you're looking for a shop, you're in Jacksonville area, go check them out. Their inventory is staggering. Like, it's crazy the amount of stuff that they have. And the guys in there, like the customer service, absolute top notch. It's my newest, like I've only been in there twice now, and I told my wife, I'm like, this is where I'm going for everything now. They're incredible. Love those guys. So hopefully they see this. They probably won't. They didn't ask me to say anything about them, but they're awesome. Okay, day 2 of hunting. I know it's not as cold as it can be, because this is November, like not as cold as it can be in Minnesota, but it was cold for this Florida boy. So we got all bundled up, looking like highlighter Michelin man in our orange glowing garb, crack some jokes, head out to hunt. So Isaiah's already got his tag, right? He already filled his tag, so he's just going to sit. He's going to sit with Colin's dad, hang out, look for deer, basically. I'm still hunting, Colin is still hunting, Colin's dad is still hunting. We haven't gotten deer yet. A lot of Colin's my best friend, by the way. A lot of his family is out there on the property as well, different people of different days hunting. And lots of people, by the end of this trip, have gotten a deer. I have not gotten one yet. But we're only on day 2. So finally, young buck comes into view. I think Colin and I were both looking at our phone. I don't know what we were doing, but I look up and I'm like, oh, there's a deer. And it was getting close to the end of the morning. So, you know, you kind of tune out. By then you're like, we're not going to see anything. Young buck walks into view. And I'm like, oh, so Colin hands me the rifle, and he's got a 300 blackout. It's an AR actually with a suppressor on it. But, you know, we wanted to try it out. So that's what we took out there. And I took aim, exhaled, pulled the trigger, click, nothing. The bolt had not gone into battery, so we tried to quietly. You can't really quietly pull the charging handle and let it go on an AR. You can't really do that. It doesn't have a forward assist on this one, so forward assist is like a button that helps push the bolt forward, and it doesn't have one on this one specifically, so did not get that. We tried 3 times, just could not get the battery to go, or get it to go into battery. So I got good video of him walking off into the woods though. Nice young buck, good looking young buck. We saw a whole lot of turkey, but it wasn't turkey season. No more deer after that, just that one. I'm pretty sure everybody saw that deer. Isaiah and Colin's dad saw that deer, and then we heard the neighbor take a shot at that deer. Nobody got that deer. That deer was elusive. It was not meant to go that day. So day 3, headed out. I decided that at that point that I might not get a deer this year, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay with this. Like, you know, it's fine. I was really happy my son got a deer. Like, genuinely, that meant the world to me. That, like, he was so stoked about that. 3rd day, 3rd stand, trying a different stand out. We're backed up to an area that had like chest high grass that was like the spawn of Satan. Like, it was so tall and ridiculous, and like sparse trees and like a wooded area. It kind of looked like a swamp actually, but it was dry. So really tall, brown grass, and that everything blends in with. And the only time you could see anything is if it cleared that grass completely and went out into the clearing, So we sat there. It was getting close to it was a little after 10, and we were pretty much calling it a day at 11 a.m. because you're not going to see much movement after that. So we weren't really paying a whole lot of attention. Once again, I feel like that might be a thing. Like that's when it usually happens. But I think I had just texted my wife that I was getting ready to come in, and I look up, and 70 yards out, there's a little buck. And I'm like, oh, same deal as last time. Calling hands. Oh, and the time before, we only had one rifle. The reason why is his other rifle's set up for much longer range, and we didn't have any long range shooting alleys, so nowhere to shoot that rifle. So that's why we only had one rifle the day before when it went click. Today we had two. We weren't making that mistake again. So I got the rifle. It didn't work the previous day. We had tested it out because it is suppressed, so we can do that, and not scare off all the deer. But I had that same rifle that went click the day before, and took aim, exhaled, pulled the trigger, hit him, and he bucked, took off. So of course he went right into that chest high grass and just bolted, It
hunched.
Huh?
It hunched.
I can't believe he came out. I was sitting there over here going, well, probably call it. So we waited a while, waited till Colin's dad got up there and everybody else got up there and went out to go track him. We searched that area for a solid 30 minutes, just looked all spread out everywhere, searching in formation, trying to find a blood trail of some kind.
Because it would have taken a few steps when it took off, so you might not see a blood trail.
Yeah, true.
For several feet in between.
I was starting a little sick to my stomach. I was like, last thing I want to do is wound an animal and then not be able to find it, not be able to harvest that, Somehow, after 30 minutes of looking, I looked down, and it was almost poetic because I'm the one that shot it, and then I found the blood trail. I found 2 drops of blood on a couple blades of grass, of this super tall grass. Then another couple drops, a little ways away, and then we worked as a team, following this blood trail, and finally found a good trail where it went down an actual deer trail, a trail that they use, and maybe 150 yards, I don't know, but by this time next year it'll be 200 yards. It's a fishtail. It's gonna get longer and longer as time goes on. But we found this deer, and he was laid down in the trail, still breathing. Finished him off.
Congratulations and good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you got to put blood on your face.
Yeah.
Take a blade out of the heart.
Yeah. Well, my wife's probably gonna give me a kiss when I get up to the truck, though. I might not be able to get that if I put blood on my face.
And then tied him up and started dragging him back. And I tell you what, I'm not physically fit, but that was the hardest physical thing I've done in a long, long time. We were switching off through that grass that's this tall, and over logs and just dead weight, literally. And so we switched off, and Colin's dad and Colin were pulling at some, and we got up to the clearing, and I could see the girls, Colin's wife and my wife, come around in the truck, and I was like, I took the strap in my hands. I was not going to have my wife see another man drag my deer out of the woods. That was not happening. So I dragged him the last bit and pulled him up into the clearing, flopped down on the ground because that was exhausting. So we got him cleaned, got him all set up. This is the part that really blew my mind. Got all the deer in there that everybody had shot over the last 3 days and started processing. And it's a whole family ordeal. Everybody comes in and they're processing this meat. Everything is the deer is stripped clean, and hides and everything, and all the meat set aside and categorized and cut up and butchered the way it's supposed to be butchered, and really nothing is wasted, and it's a whole family process, and it was just really cool to watch. Everything's packaged up and labeled, and so we went to Walmart and got a couple of super heavy duty coolers, froze all that meat, put in ice with them, and sealed that thing shut, ratchet strapped it shut, and flew it home because, like, that's what we were there for, you know. But that processing, like, they're professionals. This is what they do. It was the coolest thing. So I told you at the beginning of the video, like, I learned something from this, and my thought on hunting, like, I knew this was a part of hunting, but I never had never experienced it. The whole, when people say harvesting a deer, it always kind of sounded like just a kind way of saying that you went out and shot a deer so that you could eat it, right? It made people feel better if you say harvested. But this family, they have a piece of property that is cultivated and set up to be a deer habitat so that they can go out, and not just deer, but other animals as well. Like, they have food plots and all that, and like it's set up so that deer have a place to thrive throughout the majority of the year, and then they can go out and harvest their meat that they feed their families with, and they feed their families with that meat throughout, you know, for the rest of the year after hunting season. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, it's like raising your own food, you know? It's like having a garden or you know, raising your own crops or having cattle or whatever. Like, it's just a different way of harvesting your own food to feed your family. And the conservation side of it, you know, and then I learned a lot about conservation and how hunters help conserve the land and keep the numbers where they should be to keep the animal population healthy and thriving. I learned all that in my hunter safety course that I had to take before I could go up there. And I learned a ton about this, and I have a whole new level of respect for that style of hunting. You know, they have this property set up so that they can hunt these animals, so they can feed their family. Like, it's the coolest thing. So would I go again? Yes. When my freezer is empty and I've run out of venison, I'll go again. If they would have me, like, you know, I'll find another way if not, because it's the coolest experience. It really was. I'm grateful for the deer that gave their lives for us to feed our family with, and I am so grateful to my best friend and his family. That's a family tradition that they have. It's their family land. The only people that hunt there are family, and I'm so grateful that I was invited into that, you know, to get to go experience that. Like, that's really cool. So, like, I don't consider myself a hunter yet, but I would absolutely do it again, for sure. Oh, let me show you what Colin sent me as well. This was really cool. He had it mounted for me. How cool is that? That's the coolest thing ever. Little European mount. This is not related. This is because I won the fantasy football last year. But yeah, is that the coolest thing ever? What a friend, huh? What a guy. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.